Abu Talib, we have the greatest respect for you. But time and again we have pleaded with you to stop your nephew's preaching. And you have done nothing.
He's threatening the peace in Mecca.
A few years ago, he brought peace to Mecca. You praised his wisdom then, Abu Jahl. Remember when the Kaaba was being rebuilt? We were about to kill each other for the right to place the Black Stone. But Muhammad came.
Ah yes, the Black Stone of the Kaaba, which Islamic Adam supposedly brought down from paradise. It used to be white until it was fingered by menstruating women. I'll bet you didn't know that. This reference is from Tabari, in which Meccan clans were fighting for the honor of placing the Black Stone in its position. Muhammad took a cloak, lifted the stone onto the cloak, and had all the clans pick the cloak up. Then he pushed the stone into place with his own hands. In this way, the clans were supposedly honored equally, although really Muhammad got most of the glory, if you could call touching a pagan rock idol glory. This was back when Muhammad was only 35 and hadn't received any revelations yet. If he was worshipping idols then, and he still worshipped the Black Stone after Islam, what makes more sense? That it was never idol worship and the stone was coincidentally Allah's artifact? Or that Muhammad threw in worship of this stone while mixing Judaism with his lifelong pagan practices and creating Islam?
The point is this.
Abu Jahl,
Stop him, or someone else will.
out! Do you want bloodshed and fighting among Quraysh? Out now! You can see my situation, Abu Talib. It's getting more and more difficult to keep the peace. Please, talk with your nephew.
For the peace of Mecca, I will talk to him. Muhammad, close the door and come in. Please, sit. Son of my brother, Quraysh demand that you stop your preaching. If you don't, I fear I cannot protect you. I am an old man, Muhammad. I cannot fight these people, my own neighbors, my own tribe. People we have known all our lives. Is what you preach so important, Muhammad, that you and I must die for it? That there must be bloodshed in the city? For the peace of Mecca, stop your preaching.
This made Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him, very sad. But he answered, saying, if they put the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left, I will not stop what I am doing. I will continue until either the word of God prevails,
Allah!
or I perish in the process.
This sounds noble until you read the word of Allah and actually see it for what it is. Does the following sound like God speaking, or a man putting words in God's mouth to suit his desire for sex with whatever woman he wants? Quran 33, verse 50. O Prophet, we have made lawful to you all the wives to whom you have paid dowers, and those whom your hands possess, out of the prisoners of war spoils, and daughters of your paternal uncles and aunts, and daughters of your maternal uncles and aunts, who migrated with you, and any believing woman who declares her soul to the Prophet, if the Prophet wishes her. This is a privilege for you only, and not for the rest of the believers. We know what we have appointed for them as to their wives and the captives whom they possess, in order that there should be no difficulty for you, and that you should be free from blame. Incidentally, this verse was the one I referenced earlier that condoned slavery and allowed sex with slaves. Either Allah wants his prophet alone to be amply sexed, or Muhammad's selfless preaching of the word of God suddenly appears to have ulterior motives. I'm sure that if you've gotten this far, you're a reasonably intelligent person. I'll leave it up to you.
Muhammad, say and do what you please. This uncle will never abandon you. Not now, not as long as I live. I say we are Muhammad's clan, and we will stand by him and protect him, no matter what the cost.
Why? Why must we become the enemy of Mecca for one man?
Because he is our nephew. And because he has done nothing wrong.
Bull crap.
The great Hamza speaks. Good thing you're swift with the sword, brother. Because Muhammad's forcing you to use it.
The evil dude is right, dickweed. Muhammad just said he'd preach until the word of Allah prevailed or he perished in the process. Well, words don't seem to be working if swords are becoming necessary. And we're not even a third of the way into the movie.
Well, I'm not dying for him just because he says he saw an angel. Muhammad continues to preach, despite all we do to him and his followers. Please stop him before he ruins everything.
He's coming.
He's praying.
Infidel!
Oh, no, you didn't. Badar International, there is no way you just projected Muslim faults onto pagans and had them shout infidel. This hypocrisy is absolutely stunning. How do you people sleep at night?
I won't let you overthrow our gods! Heretic! How dare you walk away!
Oh, Hamza, you're back.
What is it?
Oh, but you all insulted your nephew. He said horrible things in front of the whole city.
What did my nephew do?
Nothing. He just walked away.
He tried praying here just this morning, but I drew him away.
Oh, this is delicious. I can't believe the movie actually included this part. The Hadith of Tabari and Ishaq tell of how the archer Hamza, upon hearing that Abu Jahl had spoken to Muhammad offensively, goes after him and, quote, splits his head open in an ugly way. So now the Muslims, who initially caused the strife in Mecca, are upping the ante. Abu Jahl hadn't even laid a hand on Muhammad. And you know what Muhammad did that caused Jahl to speak to him in such an upset manner? It wasn't just him praying. At the time, some other people who weren't taking Muhammad seriously began teasing him while he prayed. So Muhammad said in Ishaq 130 and Tabari 4, verse 101, "Hear me, O Quraysh," which was Muhammad's tribe, his own people. "By him who holds Muhammad's life in his hands, I will bring you slaughter." Muhammad's message to the world, later to be performed as promised. Small wonder the Meccans freaked out and the Muslims were eventually persecuted. They weren't exactly innocent Sunday school students with mini Qur'ans in their hands. This movie is dripping with propaganda.
If you want to fight someone, fight me, you coward. How dare you insult Muhammad when I, too, am of his religion?
No.
I didn't know you followed Muhammad.
I do now.
Do what you must.
I know what you teach is true, nephew. I feel it in every word you've spoken. That's why I can say this. There is no God but Allah, and you are his prophet.
There's your endorsement from the guy who splits people's heads open for a little verbal abuse. What fine people Muhammad attracts.
Punish them!
This way!
Where are you taking me?
Stop! Let her go! Where is my husband?
Never mind that. Deny Muhammad and confess the gods or die. Do it.
No! No!
Do it!
Say it, Mother. Tell them what they want to hear.
Listen to your son, Sumaya.
Tell me truthfully, Ammar, would you deny God and his prophet just to live?
If you value the commands of the prophet more than your own life, then what's the lesson here? Do you value his commands over everyone else's life as well? This scene is supposed to induce sympathy, but in actuality, we are hearing the suicide bomber's creed.
And neither will I. There is only one God, and Muhammad is his prophet.
Do you mock me? Then those words shall be your last!
I have to give credit where credit is due. This lady's name is Sumaya, and she is reported to have died for being a Muslim in Ishaq. Death by being repeatedly stabbed in the vagina, to be exact. There is no record of her son being present at the time, and except for being the 7th person to accept Islam, nothing else is known of her. I've learned enough about Muhammad to know that he was a lying, self-serving fraud by habit, but what I don't understand is what Sumaya saw in him. Then again, Muhammad attracted some messed up people, so it's suspect at best that the seemingly innocent Sumaya depicted here is anything like the historical person. To be honest, I can't help but wonder if Sumaya was seeking the true God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Allah may have been a manifestation of Muhammad's hopes and desires, but Muhammad gave him roots plagiarized from Judaism. I can't be sure. The only thing I know is that after 10 years of Muhammad's antics, the Meccans were fed up and attacked his tiny handful of followers. And apparently Sumaya had drunk enough of the Kool-Aid to die.
The first martyrs of Islam.
Poor Sumaya. Poor Yasser.
Thank God, Ammar lives. How is he?
The Prophet is doing all he can to ease his pain. But he fears for our lives, and says that those who can should go to Abyssinia.
Abyssinia?
It's ruled by a Christian king, a kind man.
This is truly disgusting. So after pissing off their friends and families for 10 years until they're driven out, the Muslims, all 10 to 15 of them, depending on whether you believe Tabari or Ishaq, take advantage of the kindness of a Christian king who doesn't know any better. This is confirmed in Tabari 6:98. Yeah, 10 years of spoken Islam, and Muhammad has, at most, 15 converts to show for it. And how does Muhammad later repay Christianity for keeping his people and his scheme alive? Quran 5:51. O believers, do not hold Jews and Christians as your allies. They are allies of one another, and anyone who makes them his friends is one of them. Quran 2:10. As for those who deny Islam, they shall be faggots for the hell fire. Quran 5:72. They are surely infidels who blaspheme and say, God is Christ, the Messiah. Muhammad seems to make a habit of destroying everything he touches.
Who might allow us to live there, and I've been asked to lead the group, and I'll need some strong men to help me. Go, Malek. We'll be fine.